What really transpired between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Samoei Arap Ruto? That's the question which most Kenyans are currently asking. Yesterday, a visibly angry President Uhuru Kenyatta dared his deputy to quit. In this video today, I want us to look into details and dissect the president's speech and why probably he wants his deputy to quit and why William Ruto can also not quit. But before we go into all those details, if you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. I want us to be very brief. President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday dared his deputy to quit if he's not happy with his government. Listen in very briefly to the president.
I have an agenda that I was elected on, and that work must continue. And it would be really the honorable thing that if you are not happy with it, right, that you would actually, step aside and allow those who want to move on, and then take your agenda to the people, which is what happens in any normal, democracy, because you can't have your cake and eat it, yeah? You can't on the one hand say, I'm not going, and because at the same time, I don't agree. You've got to decide, because you must be principled in that endeavor, yeah? That's what happens in a democracy, so that you don't confuse people. On the one hand, you want to sing the praises of a government that you are saying that yes, this is we have done, and you want to ride on them, but yet on the other side of your mouth, you're talking another language. So I don't want to say much, but like I'm saying, I will not be deviated from the agenda I have set on course. BBI was just one of them. We still have also the big four, which we have been consistently following, and we will continue with the agenda as we have it. That will continue, and really, like I said, people know what happens when you disagree with each other in developed civilized democracies, what people do, and I would hope that people would have the courage and the guts to do that instead of, like I'm saying, throwing stones in the same house that you're living in.
Now, what really transpired between these two people? Because if President Uhuru Kenyatta had the powers, he would have kicked out his deputy, not yesterday, but long time ago. The deputy president is currently serving because the office is actually protected by the constitution. Otherwise, he would have been a former deputy president or a former vice president. But why do you think President Uhuru Kenyatta decided to take his deputy head on for the first time in that manner?
I have no idea what has transpired, except for the fact that probably he is trying to create a base for him and for his future politics, which is his right. I have never denied him that, and he's free to do so. But I feel it is unfortunate that maybe the manner in which he is doing it, by going against the same government that he's serving, I think is wrong. Because like I said, the issues that we have been trying to fight over in this BBI and to try and achieve in this BBI are the same issues that brought me and him together, right? So if I want to now expand that, because I believed and I thought that that is what we were trying to do, and if you go back all the way back to 2013, it was always been my agenda, bringing the people of Kenya together.
In my view, the president did that because of 5 reasons. Number one is the BBI failure. President Uhuru Kenyatta is not happy with the fact that the Building Bridges Initiative process, a project he initiated, failed. And it failed because his deputy decided not to support that process. President Uhuru Kenyatta is not your ordinary Kenyan. He's the president of the Republic of Kenya. He has access to intelligence report. So the president understands the magnitude or the role the deputy president played in sabotaging the Building Bridges Initiative process. Don't be cheated. Politics is about interest. There was no way President Uhuru Kenyatta was pushing for the BBI process without a political interest at the back of his mind. The deputy president has thwarted that. So he's very angry, and that's why he told his deputy to resign. That's number one. Number two, I think President Uhuru Kenyatta is also not very happy with the way the deputy president has been behaving. When there's success in government, he wants to take credit for the success. And when there's a failure, he wants to take a failure. He wants to dissociate from that failure. The deputy president was in Kirinyaga over the weekend. And I remember on Twitter, personally, I asked that question, that the deputy president was in Kirinyaga. He used the same platform to hit on President Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, and the handshake, and how that handshake has stopped the Big Four agenda. Then after saying all those, then he started now taking credit for projects which were actually initiated and are being implemented during the handshake project. So I think President Uhuru Kenyatta is not very happy by the fact that his deputy is trying so hard to paint the government of which he is the leader in bad light. But for any success, he wants to take credit for those success. And because of those, the president must have been very bitter with his deputy. Number three, why he's bitter, I think he's trying to provoke the DP. And why should he provoke the DP? He wants to provoke the DP so that the DP can resign. But the William Ruto I know cannot resign. And I'm going to explain the reasons why he can't resign shortly. He can't resign. So basically, by taking on his deputy, it means the president is setting a stage for the impeachment of the deputy president. Because constitutionally, he can't fire his deputy. That's the fact. But for him to kick him out, he can engineer impeachment. And I want us to go back to certain things which happened in the past in parliament. President Uhuru Kenyatta took charge of parliament, and he was able to receive, through voting, 2/3 to pass several other bills which were required. And then Kenyans realized at that time that indeed the deputy president might not have had the kind of support which most Kenyans had assumed he had in parliament. So I'm looking at it from that perspective, that probably President Uhuru Kenyatta wants to initiate an impeachment motion against the DP. I am sure tomorrow the DP is likely to respond to the president. But again, he can't respond to the president, because responding to the president would mean fighting President Uhuru Kenyatta, and you would not want such kind of thing to happen, especially because of the central or the larger Mount Kenya politics. Number 4, in my view, is the 2022 fallout. If you listened to the president very keenly, he talked of BBI, Raila Odinga being accused of using BBI for his personal 2022 politics. That he himself, Uhuru Kenyatta, is being accused of using BBI for his personal interest. And he made it very clear that he doesn't have any political interest in 2022. And he also made it clear that Raila Odinga declared his interest even before the Building Bridges Initiative process. And therefore, BBI should not be related or should not be linked to him and Raila Odinga's political interest. And because of that fallout, remember, President Uhuru Kenyatta made a promise to support his deputy in 2022. Do you think he's going to support his deputy? That's not going to happen. And because that's not going to happen, it means the mere fact that William Ruto is still in office, he's still able to access some intelligence information. He's still able to do so many things by virtue of being the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. And because of that fallout, I think the president would not want to share with him any government function. And that's why he was like, the president was like, whenever I meet Kalonzo, I meet Raila, we don't talk, we don't discuss business, government affairs. We discuss issues which can unite the country. And number 5, why he's very bitter and angry with the DP is because of William Ruto's hypocrisy. I don't want to get much into that. But for those who followed William Ruto, there are certain things he's saying, and the president was right that on one mouth he says this, on the other mouth he says a different thing. So that's hypocrisy. There are certain things, when BBI started, William Ruto was part of it, and President Uhuru Kenyatta even challenged him to deny whether he was not being briefed, he was not part of the process. But when he realized that Kenyans were against the BBI, he decided to ship out. And that's what the president is trying to say. This guy is not willing to take responsibility. Anytime things are good, he's with it. When things are bad, he's against it. But why do you think the deputy president cannot resign? The only person I know refused to resign is Amos Kemunya. The second person I know cannot resign is William Ruto. And William Ruto cannot resign because of these 4 reasons only. Number 1 is the current residence. If you remove the current residence from William Ruto today, where do you think he will be hosting those meetings? Western Hotel? Western Hotel doesn't have that capacity. In Nairobi, it will take him a lot of time and resources to get a big space like his official residence. And for the purposes of his politics, the DP is not willing to let go that current residence. Because that current residence today is actually his political platform. That's where he holds rallies, that's where he holds meetings. And doing all those at the expense of taxpayers. Kenyans actually pay. When you go there, take tea and leave, Kenyan government is billed. So because of that current residence, as at today, William Ruto cannot leave that office. Number 2 is the trappings of power. The mere fact that Ruto is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya means he enjoys a lot of things. One of the things he enjoys is access to intelligence report. And that's why Itumbi is always able to get certain information, because the DP is briefed and he briefs Itumbi, and then Itumbi gets out with those kind of intelligence reports. Apart from that, if William Ruto were to cease being the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya today, several things are going to happen. His phone will no longer ring. There are people who are associating with him by virtue of being the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. So the trappings of power. If William Ruto stops being the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya today, his people will be easily kicked out of government. He will not have influence over, for example, tenders in government. As much as he's not very in good terms with President Uhuru Kenyatta, he's still able to get ABC from government. Number 3 is the campaign resources. William Ruto is currently using current residence. If you are not using that current residence, he would be paying a lot in terms of rent. What about the tea being taken at that residence? What about the staffs? All those staffs are paid by taxpayers' money. If he were to leave today, he will be going deep into his pocket to spend some of the money on these particular people. Ruto cannot allow that. And the mere fact that he's a deputy president means he also has his team. Some he planted in 2013, some even 2017. He has cabinet, some cabinet ministers who are allied to him. These people are actually able to help him raise campaign money. And lastly, why he can't resign now, but he's going to resign, is because William Ruto intends to engineer mass exodus from Jubilee Party at last minute. And probably President Uhuru Kenyatta was actually just trying to preempt their plans, so that the next day they wake up to resign, they'll be reminded that the president had actually challenged them to resign, but they refused. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. The president is angry, the president is bitter. We don't know what he's going to do next, but I can guarantee you that I'm smelling a cabinet reshuffle in the next few weeks. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.
So if divisions of 2007 brought us together, why can't we now have these other divisions also bringing more on board? What is the problem with that? It doesn't deny you of your chances, because at the end of the day, it is not Uhuru who elects, yeah? It is the people of Kenya. So what is the problem if we have more on board and have a situation where everybody feels that regardless of who wins, no Kenyan has lost?